Hi, Bill here. I just wanted to do a little quick follow-up video on the subject of EBV, Epstein-Barr virus. And, like I said before, I'd gone to my doctor yesterday and got my blood results back for all that. And I was looking at the results, and I know there's been a couple other people out there in Lyme, YouTube land that have, had some questions and comments, and they might not have had their doctor explain their results to them yet. And I was just looking down through my results here, and I'll just kind of explain to you what my results said, and maybe that'll give you some clues to where you're at. So, there's three different things that, at least the test that I got done, three different things that the test tests for, which is antibodies to your system. That your system has created against EBV. So it tests for IgM antibodies, it tests for IgG antibodies, and it tests for eBNA, which is nuclear antibodies. So what it does is, for those three different levels of antibodies, you get a positive or a negative or maybe equivocal, which is kind of uncertain. And so I just read what mine came up with on the IgM antibodies, and this is like for maybe a current or acute infection. IgM antibodies, it says a negative is less than 36, equivocal is 36 to 44, and greater than a 44 is a positive, and mine said it was less than a 36, so that's negative for the IgM antibodies. And for IgG antibodies, negative is less than 18, 18 to 22 is equivocal, greater than 22 is positive. Mine was 430, okay, so that's positive, obviously. eBNA, nuclear antibodies, same numbers for the criteria, less than 18 for negative, 18 to 22 for equivocal, and greater than 22 for positive, and mine was 70.2. So negative IgM, positive IgG, positive eBNA. So, and there's a whole grid here of, the results for those three, different antibodies. Three different possibilities for all three of them. So that's a whole bunch of different combinations it can have. So if I look down in this grid for what mine was, negative IgM, positive IgG, and positive eBNA, that says suggestive of a past Epstein-Barr virus infection. So, what it's saying is I had it, like my doctor explained to me. She said it looked like I had it and had it pretty good, based on some of those antibody levels that are still in my system. But, according to what they say, that means it hasn't been active for at least 6 weeks, and maybe months or years. So that might explain a lot, of why I've had, especially early on in this, a lot of chronic fatigue that was basically 24/7, ongoing. And that's what happens to a lot of people, especially if you think of teenagers and young people that get mono, get EBV, they're wiped out for a while. They're 24/7 tired, which mine has lately just been more of the, the normal Lyme morning thing. So, what we decided for me was, I don't think I'm going to take antivirals for this. Doesn't seem necessary to me. Like I said, I'm taking a lot of Booner herbs that are also antiviral, and some of them are specifically active against EBV. So I'm going to, my doctor and I decided I'm going to keep on going with that. So if anybody, maybe has the same kind of printout and they're having trouble figuring out what it means, please let me know, and I can help you out with that. From what I know, from what this describes to me here, like I said, there's different, way different, possibilities than what my test came up with. That could be a clue to, whether you have an active infection or if it's a past infection or what. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. As far as that goes, and anybody that has any questions or comments, please leave them below. Thanks.